This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman. Australia's bracing for what's expected to be the worst weekend yet, an already devastating climate-fueled wildfire season that's ravaged the southeastern part of the country, killing at least 18 people, nearly 500 million animals as well, destroyed 14.5 million acres. The state of New South Wales, which includes the capital, Sydney, declared a state of emergency Thursday, and the state of Victoria declared a state of disaster as thousands of evacuees fled to the beaches. Conservative Prime Minister Scott Morrison told reporters this week that fighting the fires, not climate change, is his top priority. Morrison faces growing outrage for his inaction on climate and close ties with the coal industry. As fires blazed in December, the Prime Minister went on holiday to Hawaii. On Thursday, Morrison was shouted out of a small town after being confronted by angry fire victims. This coming as Australia's Bureau of Meteorology confirmed 2019 was the continent's highest year on record. In these last few minutes, we go to Melbourne, Australia, where we're joined by Tim Flannery, climate activist, part of the government's Climate Commission before it was disbanded. Now he's chief counsel for the Australian-based Climate Council. Welcome back to Democracy Now!, Tim. In these last few minutes, describe your country, what has happened, and how what many see as the Trump of Australia, the Prime Minister, often called a climate change denying Prime Minister, has mobilized or not mobilized the government.
Well, Amy, we're in the middle of what may be the largest evacuation in the nation's history at the moment. There are thousands of people.
Tim, I'm going to interrupt because we're having trouble hearing you right now. We're going to go to a clip of the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison.
Acknowledge the link, as has the Minister, between the broader issues of global climate change and what that means for the world's weather and the dryness of conditions in many places. But I'm sure you would also agree that no response by any one government anywhere in the world can be linked to any one fire event. And I don't think you're suggesting that here in New South Wales, Victoria or anywhere else. The government's plans on climate change are very clear, and the achievements we're making we've set out well. What we will do is ensure that our policies remain sensible, that they don't move towards either extreme, and stay focused on what Australians need for a vibrant and viable economy, as well as a vibrant and sustainable environment.
The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, is known for his support of the dirtiest fossil fuels. In 2017, Morrison, who was the Treasurer of Australia, brought a lump of coal to the floor of the Australian Parliament in order to mock opposition lawmakers. No one in Australia is laughing now. Let's see if we can get Tim Flannery on for this last minute to describe the situation. Tim, are you there?
Hello? Hello? Tim Flannery here.
Go ahead, Tim. In this last minute, sorry, we just lost you. Continue to hold forth on what is happening in your country.
Sure. Well, look, this is a national catastrophe. It's the largest evacuation, we think, in the nation's history. Unprecedented fire season that's run from September through to today and promises to run for some months yet. It's clear that whatever the government policies are, they are inadequate. We have seen enormous damage in this country to infrastructure, loss of human life and to biodiversity. And this is being driven by climate change. We know that because the chances of this occurring naturally are about 1 in 350 to have a year as hot as this. If you add in the human pollution, the human CO2 pollution, it drops to 1 in 8. So we will start seeing more of these extreme years, I fear, as time goes on, unless we can do something quite dramatic in terms of reducing global emissions of greenhouse gases.
And the scene right now on the East Coast, these fires that have already killed, we don't know how many, we believe 18. I mean, to say the least, thousands of animals. Do you see these contained at any point soon? What has to happen?
Look, the fire chiefs are telling us that these fires are simply not containable at the moment. We've had our driest year on record, and the year before that was extraordinarily dry. It's the hottest year on record. We've got very windy conditions. This country is a tinderbox. And what's extraordinary, Amy, is that it's not just the people in the fire zones that are being affected. The smoke palls are just devastating our major cities. We've got a health crisis with people turning up with breathing difficulties, and it's just relentless. It's gone on and on now for months.
Well, I want to thank you, Tim Flannery, for joining us. I hope to be back in contact with you next week. But this weekend promises to be terrifying in Australia by all accounts. I want to thank you so much, Chief Counsel at the Australian-based Climate Council. That does it for our broadcast. Democracy Now! Produced by Mike Burke, Nagusdar, Nermeen Sheikh, Carla Wills, Tammy Warrenoff, Libby Rainey, Sam Alcoff, John Hamilton, Rabi Karen, Hani Masood, Trina Nadura, Tamery Astudio, Adriana Contreras, Maria Terracena. Special thanks to Julie Crosby. I'm Amy Goodman. Go to our website for all of our coverage around the climate crisis. Thanks so much.